Hi everybody, my name's Ali and I've been asked today to give you a 5 or 10 minute video just to inspire you creatively. I had been booked in to do some lovely workshops with you. I'm a printer and I do lots of different styles of printing, including lino, mono. I make patterns and things like that for surface design. Today, however, I know we're all in lockdown and it's quite difficult if you haven't got all of the equipment, so we're going to do something quite simple which everybody can achieve from home using whatever you have lying around. We're going to do some mark making and some collage, and this is what we are going to be achieving. So this is simple collage technique using the mark making to create some lovely textures, and I think it looks beautiful. Actually, when you pop a frame around it as well, it gives you a different look, a different overview of what you can achieve if you wanted to pop some artwork onto your wall at home. And it doesn't have to be botanical or floral. You can do abstract as well. This is a little bit more abstract, but it's still keeping with the floral theme. So I'm going to take you through a step-by-step process, what to do, what equipment we're going to need, and how we're going to achieve that. So we'll start with some mark making. Mark making is a fantastic way of getting some interest into your images. You don't have to have any drawing or painting ability. It's something that I use a lot, and I think it's really a modern way of producing great artwork. Yeah, we're going to start with some pencils and pens, because I know everybody's going to have pencils and pens, plain sheet of paper. I've started doing a little bit here already, just with a graphite stick, which is the same as a pencil really. And what I've found whilst doing this, because I'm doing this on a garden table, I'm getting some absolutely lovely textures through. I'm getting some of the grain coming through whilst I'm making the marks, and that just is a really nice way to add some texture into that. So here, just scribbling out some dots, which everybody can do. Put them quite close together so that when you cut them out, you're getting a lot of interest into your collage shapes. So as you can see, I've done a little bit there. You can do as much or as little as you want. These marks here are with a Sharpie pen, just doing some lines in different directions, quite close together again. Big and small. Just get yourself cover quite a nice surface, because if we're going to do, I think I'm going to show you some floral botanical type collage, and if you are cutting one leaf out, you're going to use quite a lot of that. So try and get quite a lot of coverage. I'm not going to go too far now, just for the purpose of this video and time restraints. So that's a nice technique. I've also done some scribbly bits here, and I think this lends itself really nicely excuse me, to floral and botanical collage. So anybody can do that. Simple pen, round and round, some nice sort of curly scribbly marks. Okay, you could just expand that technique using whatever you have excuse me. Different pens, different pencils. You can use colours, of course, any colour that you want. You can add some black and some bright pinks or yellows. Again, just use what you have and what your own personal taste is. It's entirely up to you. So that's, I know everybody's going to be able to achieve that. What I also do is use things like plastic forks. I've got some inks. Now I'm going to use a black ink. A lot of you may not have that at home, but you can use, mix some nice watercolours together if you have them, or whatever paint you have. You might have some decorating paint actually. Drag that out of the garage, get it mixed up with a little bit of water, and you're good to go. It's really simple. So using a fork, I'm just going to use that on the sheet to make some lovely marks. And I know it doesn't look like much at the moment, but it really does create a nice effect when you cut the shapes out. It's quite a modern technique, but it just keeps you creative, you know, stops the boredom really. And it's actually quite therapeutic doing this, very relaxing. And if you've got anybody else at home that's a bit bored, you could do this together. That's the fork. I've also got a stick. It's a simple bit of wood. I don't know where I got that from, but it's quite a cool tool. Dip it in the ink or the paint. Just dab it onto your paper. You're making a really nice texture again. And I would say I'm only doing small parts at the moment just because of time, but I think if you've got lots of time and you're enjoying yourself, you could do a whole sheet per technique and then just mix and match all of your bits and pieces together. But this is quite nice, really. So that's your stick. And then I've also got a sponge. You may not have that, but you could easily cut up a Brillo pad or a washing up sponge or a bath sponge or anything that you have lying around, really. Just dab it into your paint or your ink. And again, I love that actually. That's really nice. It's a real contrasting texture to the lines. And once you cut that out, it's going to look really nice. And you can get a lot done, actually. That's a very quick technique. So just fill your sheets with lots of texture. Okay, so I've shown you a few different things that you can use for mark making. It's a really lovely, relaxing thing to do in the afternoon. I'm outside in the sun, having a lovely time, so go for it. I've got a sheet that I prepared earlier, which I'm going to get now, and I'm going to start cutting some shapes out. I haven't got any prompts. I'm just going to do whatever comes to mind, and I'm thinking something a bit botanical. You can use scissors, you can tear it if you like, it's up to you. But I think I'm going to use scissors on this one, so bear with me while I grab all my stuff. I've got a nice clean sheet of paper. I've got a glue stick. Oh, and I've got a pair of scissors. So, just grabbing my sheet earlier. She's got a lot of marks on it. And I'm simply going to start cutting up. What I didn't say, I mean, I'm looking at this now, and some of my marks have been made with different tools. The one I particularly like here is made with the end of a pen, small ones, and this, as you can see, is made with the end of my glue stick. This is the stick that I showed you earlier. This is the fork here. I mean, if you've got brushes are fab. They make lovely, lovely marks in any way that you like. So if you have got brushes, again, decorating brushes are great. You can use them. Get into the shed or the garage and pull out your DIY stuff if you've got any, and just get making these marks. So I'm going to start over this end simply because this is dry, and I'm just going to cut out some leaf shapes. You don't have to be precise. It's just a leaf shape like that. I'm going to cut a few things out, and then I'm going to start putting something together on the paper. Oops. If you don't want to cut, you can tear. It's absolutely fine. Tearing is lovely as well. Because we're doing nature, I think that's the good thing. Nothing's perfect in nature, so you don't have to be perfect with anything that you're doing. You can just go for it. Doesn't that look lovely? That's so nice. So I'm just going to cut out some random leaf shapes. I'm doing this at speed, by the way. You know, you can take your time over it. You don't need to rush. But I'm just aware of the clock ticking, and don't want to bore you either. So, oh, look at that. once you cut out your marks, it becomes a whole different thing. I think that looks absolutely lovely. So I've just cut out a few shapes there to start. And what you can also do, I'm just going to take the Sharpie pen, I'm just going to draw like a stalk that I can then stick my leaves onto. Really simple line. Again, because it's nature, it doesn't have to be perfect. Get my glue stick. I think collage is so underrated. It can be so modern and contemporary. It doesn't have to be old-fashioned collage. Collage is used a lot nowadays in art and design. Some top people creating lovely fabrics and wallpapers based on collage and mark making. There, I already love it. I already love it. I think it looks great. Here we go. Yeah, really happy with that so far. You can really take your time, you know, you can do it as big or as small as you like. Ideally, I'd love to cover this whole sheet now, but I know that's going to have to come in a little while, you know, over time. I won't be able to do that right now with you, but again, you can use colours if you like. I quite like the black and white, but you can incorporate any colours that you like. You can put flowers in. It doesn't have to be botanical or floral. You could just do something entirely abstract, just some abstract shapes. That looks cool as well. It looks really nice. But just keep gluing your bits on. I would have cut probably a bit more out, but this is just a start. Tucking that up to the stalk actually. I like the way that follows the line around. I'm very happy with this. You can overlap as well, you know, it doesn't have to be all singular. You can overlap your leaves anywhere you like. Perhaps I could have put that underneath because it's a lighter colour and the dark on top would have looked really lovely. But I think it also looks really nice there because again it sort of follows that line around. So I'm going to go for that there. You could just put it together without the glue to begin with if you wanted to, just to make sure that you're happy with the layout. But I think it's quite nice just to go for it because you're not overthinking it, and quite often that's the way to just achieve something really, really amazing. Because this process, it doesn't have to be long, and it can be as long or short as you want. You know, I could have covered the whole sheet. I could have had a bigger sheet. You know, it could have been more intricate. You can do whatever you want and fit it into your life in any way you want. But this process here took about 30 minutes. So because obviously I'm on video, and you don't want to watch me just cutting and pasting for ages. I'm just showing you the end product. I've managed to finish what I'm happy with, and I've achieved what I wanted to achieve, and I'm really happy with that. So get all your stuff out, pop yourself in the garden if it's sunny, and just enjoy this really slow and comforting art technique, and hopefully you'll get some really beautiful results. Thanks for watching.